All right, we're live. So today being March 10th, I've been kicking around the idea of doing top 10 lists. I'm going to let some people show up before I start the Mario top 10 list. So today's March 10th. Like I said, I've been kicking around the idea for doing like these kind of things. So this will be my first one. If I get good uptake on the video, I'll do more. But that being said, I wanted to just go through my top 10. I think it's going to be different than what people think. I know a lot of people's favorite Mario games might not be on there, and they might be in a completely different order. I took some time this afternoon thinking about it to kind of how I wanted to make the list. Let's put it this way. How I wanted to make this top 10 list for my top 10 favorite Mario games of all time is I wanted it to be the games that I enjoyed playing, not rankings based on other people's thoughts. What I enjoyed playing. So my experience might be totally different than yours. And if it is, let me know in the comments so that we can like discuss it. There are some glaring omissions off this list because I personally despise a few games that people think are popular. So I'll start off with my first honorable mention. The first honorable mention in my top 10 list was Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. I think that game's fun. I prefer like a hand console on a screen versus something in your hands. So Super Mario Land 1 is my first honorable mention. My second honorable mention was Super Mario Land 2. Both those games are really, really good. And the good thing about having a Switch now is you can put those up on there and play them more traditionally. You'll see on this list that there's one game that is absolutely, completely left off. And I think a lot of you are going to be shocked that it's not on there. So I will start with number 10. Number 10 on my top 10 Mario games of all time is none other than, where is it? Super Mario Wonder. This game would be higher. It's just kind of, it does a lot of things good, but doesn't do anything great, if that makes sense. I did have fun playing it, but I haven't felt the urge to play it again since I beat it. I know there's more things to do on it, but it just kind of was a Mario game. Still fun, but definitely deserving of number 10. Number 9 on my top 10 list might be higher for other people. I do like it a lot, but there's another game that's very similar to this. That's just a little bit better at it, a little bit better at what it does than this game. This is number 9. Number 9 is Super Mario 3D World. I did enjoy this game. I did like some of the mechanics on it with regards to like you could turn into a cat, and it was challenging enough to beat the game. I'm partial to the Switch games that are coming up. Like there's 3 spots in my top 10 are Switch. 3 are on the top 10 from the Switch. And 3D Mario World was really, really good. Definitely like a fun game just to like, it's not super hard and it doesn't require a ton of like thought. So it just kind of was it's just a fun night if you want to play a Mario game, and it's not too hard, and it allows you to like get through the game without like breaking your controller, which as an 80s gamer, that's the kind of stuff that used to drive me nuts. That was number 9. Number 8, I don't have a physical copy here because it's downloaded onto my Wii. Is Super Mario Brothers Wii. So Super Mario Brothers Wii is my number 8. That is essentially, it's very similar to 3D World, in my opinion. But I do love that game. So my number 10 so far, Super Mario Wonder. Number 8, or number 10. Number 9 and number 8 is Super Mario Brothers Wii. Honorable mention 1 is Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. Honorable mention 2 is Super Mario Land 2. So now we are on to number 7. So number 7 is the game that introduced me to Mario, probably introduced a lot of you to Mario if you're around my age, Super Mario Bros. Now, I remember specifically as a kid, I got stuck at level 8-2, or sorry, 8-1. For the better part of a solid 6 months, I couldn't get through that one jump. And I don't think I actually got through it until like I was probably 2 or 3 years older. So that game, for me, it ended at 8-1. And my dad beat it. He played it. Everybody played it when it first came out. So it was like iconic to be a kid on a Nintendo with that game because everybody played it and everybody had the same experience of just trying to beat that one part. And I still play it to this day. That is the most replayable game in my collection. I could play that game all day long. I can finally beat that part now. It's challenging still, and it's just a fun game. So that's number 6. I think it's right where, or sorry, number 7. That's right where it needs to be. Okay, we'll go I'll do a recap after this one. So number 6 kind of falls outside of like the traditional Mario platformers, but number 6 is Super Mario role-playing game. That game is so good. As a role-playing game fan, it's the perfect role-playing game or like RPG with Mario. Like they did everything right in that game. And if I was doing a list of like top 80s, 90s like RPGs, it would be higher. But when you compare it to the other Mario games, that one's like you got to sit and be like involved in the game, where these ones you can kind of like play with your brain off, if that makes sense. So that's number 6. So here is the rundown of the list so far. Once again, honorable mention 1 is Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. Honorable mention 2 is Super Mario Land 2 for the Game Boy. Number 10, Super Mario Wonder. Number 9, Super Mario 3D World. Number 8, Super Mario Brothers Wii. Number 7, the OG, started it all, Super Mario Bros. And number 6 was Super Mario RPG. Now I'm on to number 5. So number 5, this might be higher in a lot of people's lists. In mine, it is coming in at number 5. Super Mario Sunshine. My daughter and I played this game for a summer and we loved it. It's challenging enough to be really, really, really replayable, and it's hard. And a lot of the stuff that you play on this one, it's just like, it's one of the most challenging Mario games I've ever played. And it's like rewarding. The mechanics with like your jetpack and everything are so hard to like master. But once you do, you feel like you're like the king of the game. Hey, Josie, let's see. Super Mario Bros. For NES, Mario 64. Mario Golf is a classic. Yeah, for sure. I wasn't going to put like Mario Kart or like Smash Bros. On here because this is more like traditional like Mario games. But that being said, those ones are awesome as well. So Super Mario Sunshine is coming in at number 5. So 5, we got 5 more to go, or 4 more to go. Number 4, is Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. I like that game, but this was my generation. So I switched over to Sega for a period of time where I didn't get as much Nintendo action as I wanted. So I didn't get really into Super Mario World until I got older. So I think one of the reasons why it's lower on this list for me than it probably would be for a lot of people is because I didn't play it as a kid, so I don't have that nostalgia factor. I play it now, and it's great, but it's not as great as some of the games that I have ahead of it, in my opinion. So I feel like it's in a good spot. It did introduce Yoshi, all that cool stuff. So it's at number 4 on my list. Probably will be higher on a lot of people's, and if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments. But let's recap the list one more time. So honorable mention 1 is Super Mario Land. Honorable mention 2, Super Mario Land 2. Number 10 of my top 10 Nintendo or Super Mario games of all time, Super Mario Wonder. Number 9, Super Mario 3D World. Number 8, Super Mario Brothers Wii. Number 7, Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo. Number 6, Super Mario RPG. Number 5, Super Mario Sunshine. Number 4, Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. So now we are up to my top 3. So if you're paying attention to the list so far, there's one glaring omission so far that you might have picked up on. And as I get closer to the end, it's either going to be one or off the list. So it's pretty interesting. So number 3 is Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. I love that game for it being the first like kind of open worldy type Mario game. Was awesome. Those are the only ones. That's okay, Josie. So Super Mario 64, you kick the penguin off the wall. It was hard. I switched back from Sega to Nintendo for the 64. And that game is, to this day, I still replay it. Yeah, it's a good one. It's like challenging, but like rewarding, if that makes sense. And then like collecting the stars, how they started that out, or it just kind of made it like more than a platformer, if that makes sense. So it's at number 3 for me. Now, number 2 is almost, I have just as much fun playing this one as I do Super Mario 64. So going down, number 2 for me, this might be a lot of people's 1, and it's Super Mario Odyssey. So Super Mario Odyssey is number 2. This was a toss-up for me because I really like number 1. And I don't know if it's because I'm like a nostalgia guy that number 1 is where it's at over this. Because this game, in my opinion, is the perfect Mario game. The hat mechanics, everything where you throw it and you can jump off of it. I still haven't mastered how you can throw the hat, run up, jump on it, and in the air throw it again and keep going up like they do on like crazy speed runs of it. But it takes for like a long time to play. This game is super replayable. It's easy enough that like kids can play it, but hard enough that if you want to play it and get all the moons and everything, that it's hard. So that's where it is for me. It's at number 2. So here's the recap before I get to number 1, and I'll explain why I left off one of these games at the end. So now, honorable mention 1, Super Mario Land. Honorable mention 2, Super Mario Land 2. Number 10 for me, Super Mario Wonder. Number 9, Super Mario 3D World. Number 8, Super Mario Brothers Wii. Such a good game. Number 7 is the original Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo. Number 6 is Super Mario Brothers RPG. And then number 5, your top 5 so far, is Super Mario Sunshine coming in at number 5. Super Mario World coming in at number 4. Super Mario 64 coming in at number 3. And Super Mario Odyssey coming in at number 2. That leaves one of 2 games possible, in my opinion, to be number 1. And a lot of you guys would say Super Mario Galaxy as like a top 10 worthy game. It's not on my top 10. Number 1 for me is Super Mario Brothers 3. Super Mario Brothers 3 for the original Nintendo was like the game of my childhood. I must have played 1,000 hours of it, trying to get the warp whistles and play all the boards and the crazy sun that flies around and chases you, and the raccoon suit and all the cards and the matching. The game was so much fun. Getting the hammer to break the rock, the songs from it, all the Koopa kids. That game for me is one of the like defining moments of like what it is to be a Mario fan. When that game came out, it was because Mario Brothers 1 was so big, and then Mario Brothers 2 was kind of goofy. When they released Super Mario Brothers 3, there was like a movie it was in, and everybody was pumped to play it. So if you got your hands on a copy of Mario Brothers 3 and played it, it was like mind-blowing. And like having the drop-down menu where you could store your items, that was unheard of. And so for me, Super Mario Brothers 3 is number 1. And like I said, it's close. Like this might be 1A and that might be 1A and this might be 1B, because I do love Mario Odyssey so much that I think because I'm such a retro head that it brings me back to saying that like I lean towards older games rather than newer games. But you can't go wrong with either Super Mario Odyssey or Super Mario Brothers 3. That being said, I'll explain why I left Mario Galaxy off. I like these kind of games, you know? Like, even with the Odyssey, I played a different way. Like, I don't do all, like, the hand mechanic stuff. Where with the Wii, when like with Mario Galaxy, when you have to hold the Joy-Con and, like, navigate your guy, I could never, that doesn't, like, I don't get into that. Like, the Wii, that part of the Wii never, like, interested me. And, like, as great as Galaxy is, like, story-wise, I don't like playing that game. I just do not like playing it. So if I had to pick 10 games, like had to pick a Mario game to play, I would pick those 10 games that I've listed ahead of Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. I just don't find them entertaining. Like, I find them entertaining if I'm watching somebody play them, but I don't find them entertaining if I'm playing them. So that being said, with it being March 10th, aka Mario Day, that is my top 10. So number 10, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Number 9, Super Mario Brothers 3D World. Number 8, Super Mario Brothers Wii. Number 7, the original Super Mario Brothers. Number 6, Super Mario Brothers RPG. Number 5, Super Mario Sunshine. Number 4, Super Mario World. Number 3, Super Mario 64. Number 2, Super Mario Odyssey. And number 1, my favorite Mario game of all time, Super Mario Brothers 3. So that's my top 10 list. Just a short live stream tonight. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I'll post it in the comments so that you can argue with each other in the chat about where I've got my numbers wrong and what you disagree with. So everybody have a great day. I will see you all Tuesday night for Retro Trivia Night, and I look forward to hanging out with you all then.